Hi, welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Steven, and today I'll be talking about the Star Trek, the original motion picture six-film set that came out in September of this year. And they mention it's the first time in 4K. Not true. Last year, exactly almost the same time in September, they released the four-movie set in 4K of the original series of the original motion picture series. This one finally adds Star Trek 5 and Star Trek 6. So if you didn't buy it and you decided to wait it out, good move. It's well worth it. I won't bother you. I think we all know the synopsis of the films. If you're a Star Trek fan, you know them already. I'm not going to bore you with that. And I'm not going to bore you with all the content. There's a lot of content on here, and a lot of them is from the past releases. There is a little bit more on the motion picture. So if you've seen them, it's a lot of it's the same. There's a few more things added on. I'm not going to get it's way too much. I'm going to go with the bottom line of what it is. It looks and sounds phenomenal. I watched Star Trek: The Motion Picture, the director's cut, and the Wrath of Khan on 4K. Phenomenal. Was like watching it for the first time again. I watched Star Trek 3, 4, and 5 on Blu-ray just to see if they fixed those as well. I think they did. The images are vibrant. The sound is great. Star Trek 3, maybe the sound is a little bit lower than expected, but again, limitations of these films, they are quite old. So the limitations are limitations, and you can do so much with them. But it is a vast improvement to, I believe there was a set in 2009. They're good, but I think this is a lot better in my opinion, and well worth your money. What I liked about this is they offered you the 4K set and the Blu-ray set. So some people who don't have 4K and you want to go visit and show them the films, you can bring your 4K, excuse me, your Blu-ray set with you and not risk damaging the 4K set, which is a great idea. Or you provide them the digital code, either or. That you get both, and I like that the fact that the motion picture, The Wrath of Khan, and Undiscovered Country, you do get the theatrical and director's cut, which is phenomenal. That you don't have to buy another set. Great. What I didn't like, the box itself. It's a nice box. It's sturdy. The picture is the same as the 4K set, the four picture set that was released last year. So nothing much has changed on that. I would have preferred real images, like you got small ones in the back here of the real cast, and I would have preferred that. Inside, there's no booklet, so I thought it would have been nicer to have like some artwork somewhere, like inside the booklet. I would have preferred that to have a little bit of artwork, a picture here or there. That would have been amazing to have, but those are minor issues. The other thing is the films look great. They sound great. Again, Star Trek 3, I think, is the only one that it's a little bit lower in register. So you might have to play with the volume on that, but that's minor. Again, because these films are old, like in the motion picture, like you see that guy in the spacesuit flying across the Enterprise a couple of times. It looked bad then. It looks bad now. There's no getting around it. It looked hokey, especially with the rest of it looking as enhanced as it does. This looks bad. I think when Kirk is battling God, the way it looks didn't really work for me either. But I will say this: I finally watched Star Trek 5 again after I think I saw it once in the theater and I never seen it again. I actually enjoyed it this time. Yes, it is the weakest of the bunch. There's no disputing it, but it's still, I took it as a longer episode from the series. If you don't take it as a feature film, I think it's a little bit easier to digest. So I even got into the Star Trek 5, which I never thought I would say. I enjoyed it. Yes, it is the weakest, but I still enjoyed it. As for the rest, like I said, it looks great. It sounds great. I said, but some of the stuff, like sometimes when the ship is in orbit, does look a little. Like I said, there's limitations. There's so much they can do. We all know that Paramount was a little stingy on the budget with the Star Trek films. So as much as they try to enhance it, when you're enhancing the limitations, you just enhance the limitations, right? So, like I said, some stuff you kind of go, ooh, like how hokey, But okay. But again, the rest of it looks fantastic and sounds fantastic. A lot of the films, like again, the motion picture, I fell in love with it again. I first I used to call it Star Trek the boring picture. I got into this again. I really enjoyed it. It's the most Gene Roddenberry-ish esque of the film series. It's very different from all the others, and it's very much like, I guess if you look at the Next Generation, you can see the similarities. And I'll leave it at that. Enjoyed Star Trek Five. I never thought I'd say that. I enjoyed Star Trek Five. Never thought I would say that in my lifetime, but with this, I did. And most of the films, at the end of the day, I had a smile on my face, and I can't wait to revisit them again. And I think that's a great sign for this set, that you want to go back and see it and hear it. If you have a decent TV and a decent set, it's gonna be fantastic. And I was like teleported back to the theater, and I think that's a great sign for this set, and it works. And I think this is going to be the last time they're going to tweak the effects and the sound. So this is the set to get. If you can wait it out, hopefully it drops in price. If you got the 4 movie set, pick up the other two on Blu-ray if you don't want to waste that much more money. The Blu-rays are just as good. They're well done. They look great. I watched The Undiscovered Country last night. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and really got into it again. And I've seen this film 4 times already. So I mean, it's like I'm going to be surprised at the ending, but I enjoyed it this time, and it was like watching it for the first time. It's really good. Like when it's good, when it and there's no limitations to play around with. It's good. It's so good. But we got to remember these films are older, so and Paramount again was stingy on the effects. We all know this. So those are minor quibbles. Again, at the end of the day, I had a smile on my face, and that's all that matters. So I'll leave it at that. I highly recommend the 6 movie collection on 4K and Blu-ray. If you don't want to get the 4Ks, the Blu-rays are sold separately. So wait it out. Wait till they drop in price. Pick them up then. If you don't want to get 4K, that's fine. Don't blame you. If you're worried about the Blu-ray, they are done well. And that's all I can say. I don't think there's anything you're going to be disappointed with. So, all that, I'm giving this Star Trek, the 6 movie collection, my highest recommendations. If you are a Star Trek fan and you haven't seen these movies in a while and you've been on the fence of what to get, I think this is the definitive and probably be the final incarnation of these films. So, with all that being said, go search it out. Do yourself a favor. Live long and prosper with these films. And this is Steven from the Aroundtable asking you to subscribe and hit that like button. And we would definitely like to hear you. Have you seen this? Have you bought this? Let me know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. This is Steven again, wishing you the very best.